you know, what actually went wrong.
Yeah, if I ask Maze boy, Maze, when you got the first pick on long and then went for the unnecessary repeat that risked your life and your M4, was that a lucky pick for them? If he says yes, it's like I push him down the stairs or something. You know, just like, get out of my face. That's it. Like, there's no luck that you don't go for the repeat. All right, enough of that. Let's forget Cobble, and let's focus on Nuke. Dignitas starting on the CT side, NiP on the T side. And while NiP have had a monstrous comeback to start things off in this best of 2 on Cobblestone to pick up that first map. And it's all here on Nuke. Both of these teams, savvy veterans when it comes to the map, and Dignitas in particular have had a great streak. So we have to see if they can recover themselves from yesterday when they lost the map, Dignitas.
Good shot from MSL, and Flash there. Exist gets to live thanks to Freiburg, but then Cajun comes in with a big double kill, and he's going to close it out. All headshots, all Cajun B. Absolutely incredible. That's a very nice way to start it off. And they are on the CT side. They win the pistol round, and you all know what that means by now. They're setting themselves up very nicely. Now they just have to avoid what Hellraisers did, which is lose the follow-up round.
Yeah.
And look at Freiburg picking up a scout. Wow. Please, please go for a triple boost.
Oh, where would you do the triple boost?
T-roof.
T-roof?
With the scout, yeah.
Ah, yeah, because you can look into heaven,
site,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, but that's obviously not happening right now, but it's possible, perfectly possible.
That would have actually been pretty slick. Instead, he decides to take it the vanilla route out into yard, hoping to challenge somebody long range. And, well, I mean, Dignitas have set up to take advantage of the rifles. Speaking of which, config. Good night, Freiburg.
Thing is, he would have even had a target. Cajun actually was up there on heaven, so it would have been possible. It is kind of a crazy idea. I mean, you don't see it very often. In fact, I think we've only seen it once during E-League at some point, but... Still, I wish it was a thing. Nice shot from Config. He's very much on point here, cleaning up all of the yard, all on his own, it seems. Get right, trying to see if he can pick up the challenge. Getting him quite a low, so a little bit of help being brought out to Config, and it's going to be the end of it. So 2-0 and a very comfortable round here for Dignitas.
Yeah, and that's basically what you're supposed to. That's kind of like textbook stuff right there from Config. Long range, so it's much more difficult for him to die to the pistols, and then he knows that they're on pistols, so he's just challenging them, he's bullying them, he's saying, I've got the rifle, I'm going to obliterate you, and well, he's doing pretty good. Between him and between him and Cajun rather, they each have 4 kills. So definitely doing a good amount of work right now for Dignitas, and they'll have more time to shine, seeing as how NiP are still stuck on pistols. Not managing to get any bomb plants whatsoever means that NiP are fairly broke, and Config isn't done yet. There's one. Can he get another? Yes, he can. 2 headshots. Let's keep count. 3 headshots? Oh, almost. Now he just goes to the USP because he actually wants to make this a little bit more difficult for himself. He wants to challenge himself. This is how you get, to be a better player. You don't just take the easy road. You make life hard on yourself. You really, exercise your aim.
I mean, to me, it's kind of frustrating that he keeps fighting on 37 health or something. There's just... Look at the bank he has because he survived all of those rounds. Only really MSL has even died once. So NiP have 1 kill in 3 rounds so far. But because he gets to save all that money, they can... If they lose the next round, that's not even a problem. They can go right back to buying. Whereas if he dies... But he did it last time as well against Get Right. He had 30 health. If he dies both of those times, then he's got almost no money to work with. I just don't see the upside of it. But it does work out, so... I'll just be quiet for now. Rubino trying to get a little bit of challenge in here. Close with the UMP and NiP all on the other side. Rubino out of it and Config in a lot of trouble.
This is really scary. He's actually using the smoke to hide himself, like snaking behind through. There's the flash. Full flash, and he's going to pick up the 1. Perfectly done onto Exist, who gets caught off guard, but Config's in a bit of a tight spot. Get Right's got him caught, and Forrest is actually going to find the kill. So now it's up to Cajun B. While Config was drawing attention to himself, Cajun B worked his way in here with the AWP, but Forrest is going to catch him long range, and while he has to worry about top silo as well. Although, no, Get Right's dropped down to the roof of main.
Still a very hard position for Cajun to be, and just great coverage from NiP. They knew Config was in there somewhere, so they just zoned him out slowly. Cajun, not quite sure. Get Right is on the other side of the wall, so even when the smoke clears, he can't really see him. Waiting in main, that's a powerful position to Get Right to be in. If he doesn't get found out and they're just going to walk around here, Get Right could win the whole round right now. Meg is going to be going down. Freiburg with a very good headshot to clear him out. And MSL and Cajun, they should honestly try and save. Well, now they shouldn't. Those 2 kills from MSL are massive. And the bomb is down and Cajun's actually covering it.
Yeah, he's in the open. I don't know if he's managed to spot it because it's right below the angle there, so he isn't quite sure. But he does have just an excellent position right now. And if he actually went for the peek, he might have been able to catch out Michaelele. But now the game is up. Forrest has spotted him, and Michaelele is actually going to go hunting. Cajun misses the quickscope, and that pretty much ends it. MSL gets spotted, and Michaelele Instantly headshots him. Could go for the op. No op. Okay. NiP don't want the op. But that's just luck of the draw. Because imagine if Cajun can see the bomb there. Plays it totally differently. He just sits there and holds the angle with the op, and NiP are dead in the water.
Well, I think he saw it on the second peak when he was peeking to the right. But then, I mean, he walked into Michaelele, right? So a little bit tricky. I'm still kind of surprised that they went for it in a 2v4. You know, I know that MSL got those 2 kills, but that's just so unlikely that will happen. So maybe a little bit of a risk taken there. They should be able to buy regardless on the Dignitas side because they had those flawless rounds. It really makes a big difference.
Absolutely. I'm wondering if this is a tactical pause. It would be a bit early in the half, but it's not unheard of to go for the tactical pause if Dignitas are feeling like they need to make some adjustments here real quick. But I think it's far more likely that this is a technical pause. Maybe had somebody DC at some point. So we're waiting. We're getting to kind of just mire, get right. Those baby blues. All right, let's go. 3-1, NiP on the board.
Cajun has the AWP, but no armor, which is definitely significant. He's holding quite a far back, but this is still a position you can easily get grenaded in. So, you know, grenade with no armor does terrifying damage. Wall of smoke is coming down, and a lot of grenades raining out, none of them touching Cajun. And, oh, big opportunity there, and it missed.
That is unacceptable, actually. That's the kind of shot that an opera like Cajun needs to hit 100%.
Yeah.
So that's definitely a bit of a mistake there on Cajun's part. It's going to come down to config now, but there's 3 players here. He should get 1 and no more. And yeah, instant trade from NiP. Textbook play from them. Very nice, nicely done. And now that opens up the avenue to get towards this B site. Rubino up in the vents might be caught out here. This could get nasty for him.
Yeah, very hard for him to know exactly where to stand. He's going to end up giving up on that position and falling back in, but he still needs backup here. He's got a little bit in Magus, so not the end of the world right now, but still tricky for Dignitas. It's a 4-on-4, and Freiburg comes in, and Meg is not holding it as well as you'd hope. Smoke is down, and inside of it, Exist is putting down that bomb. Michaelele taking and giving quite a bit of damage there. It's a 3-on-3 for the afterplant.
And the retake, a single smoke grenade to work with, but 2 kits. So Dignitas, they can still make this happen. MSL, though, there's the smoke. Going to open the door, and MSL is instantly going to tap it. Gets the spray onto Get Right, straight up, dashes in, tries to go for Exist. And now they know that Michaelele is up in the vents. But he still finds the shot. What a play from Michaelele. Stops MSL from getting on that bomb, and now life gets difficult. It gets a bit tricky here for Magic's boy because it's all about Michaelele making a mistake. Magic hoping to get lucky with the spray, but it's just not meant to be, and maybe he has to back off. Can he save an up? Yes, he can. All right, at least he has that, but they needed this round desperately, Dignitas. Now they've given NiP a foothold.
Yeah, I mean, 100%. That's very well played for NiP, the afterplan there. Especially Michaelele coming through the vent and getting that kill for the smoke. That's not necessarily so easy. So very well done. And the Dignitas in some trouble here. They saved the AWP, they got some money on config, but I wouldn't probably not advise going for the buy here. I feel like that would be sort of an all or nothing. So Armor and Deagle is acceptable, I think, but more than that, it's just a little bit too much.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if this was old Nuke, you could say, hell, even Armor and Deagle, they stand a pretty good chance on CT side of getting an upset round. What is this? Nobody seems to be able to connect on these opening kills with the AWP. That's another situation where NiP should be down a man.
Yeah.
And Dignitas... this is like that's a little bit off, right? That's just a little bit because when they played against Na'Vi yesterday on Nuke, Dignitas are making the same exact mistakes that NiP are making right now, where they're getting caught out and it should be like kills, except that Na'Vi weren't missing. Na'Vi were punishing Dignitas relentlessly whenever they went for those peaks, and right now Dignitas are missing the opportunities.
Well, Magus finally picks up a kill, but by the time it happens, pretty much his whole team is dead. Cajun helping out a little bit. Still, I mean, it's good for some damage to the NiP team, but it's obviously not enough, and Magus in some trouble is going to end up getting shot down by Get Right, leaving just Cajun. Maybe he could go back and pick up the AWP. I kind of wish they would try.
Yeah, if you can sneak your way back there. Oh, fine work. That's not easy to do. Get Right, though. Big brother, you know, shows up, messing with my little bro, boom. Knocks him out, lays him low. And that's going to be a 3-3 tied scenario now.
Yeah, this is definitely a big problem for them. It's curious as well. If you look at the scoreboard, I mean, NiP, they're 3-3 in terms of rounds, but if you look at Config and Cajun, they got 8 kills each. Rubino is a bit out of it with just the 1, but nobody in NiP is really sort of hard carrying the team. They're just spreading the kills evenly, more or less across the team. And then Dignitas have 2 players that are really doing a lot of work here, so we'll see. Decent grenade, though.
Actually, not too bad. That's going to ring Exist spells. But then, I mean, this is quickly becoming standard for NiP. The wall of smokes outside and yard. And they even have the smoke to block off the top to make it more difficult to spot out what's happening on the railway and silo and top of main. So I like it from NiP. Very thorough stuff. Now that they have yard control, this is forcing Dignitas to fall back onto the bomb sites. This is giving NiP more room to work with, although there's still a man out in the yard, and Freiburg might get caught off guard. He's stomping around here. And there we go. Config finally hunts him down and gets the follow-up kill. Big plays from Config.
And now it's time to relax. This is where I really don't want to see too many more fights happening that are initiated by Dignitas. 5 versus 3. If you can't win this on the CT side of Nuke, then you're in a lot of trouble here. Config gonna go for the next one. Does drop the bomb as well, and that's a triple kill. And Existing Get Right are gonna be left trying to see if they could just do some more damage. And again, this round is still very important. There's still a lot to be done here for NiP if they can get more kills, and they can't. And that's huge for Dignitas. Flawless round coming out. Really well played.
I kind of wish that we saw where the fight happened for Config there versus Get Right. It looked like Get Right was up on silo. So that's just some sick awareness from Config to just completely shut down that zone of the map when I thought that it was looking like NiP, they were about to get full control. If Freiburg kills Config, then that's it. All of Yard is pretty much NiP's domain and they can do what they wish with it. So Config basically saying, drawing the line like, no, this is where it stops. 4-3, Dignitas forcing NiP to fall back to pistols. And so once again, they get a good chance to start actually developing their economy again.
Especially lack of armor on Get Right as well, with the scout still potentially dangerous. Still wish they would have gone for a triple boost, but that's just me. Config in another off angle here, and it's just like the last time. He's committed to this. Once he's spotted, he can't get out. That was the exact same thing that happened last time to him. He was at an off angle down there, so he's pretty sure to get the first kill, but once he gets that, he can't escape. And since they're all coming there, that's a big problem. Get Right lurking outside. It's a little bit behind the rest of his team, and with that AK stolen, sorry, the M4 stolen, Forrest going to pick up a kill. This is horrible. Yeah,
this is actually Rubino needs to wake up right now because he is not having any kind of an impact. He's been picked off repeatedly on the lower site. He's not getting kills, and that's definitely costing his team in these sorts of scenarios. MSL decides to step into the fight, however. Big kills for him, but he gets flanked by Forrest, and now it's all on Cajun in a 1v2 scenario. Quad kill so far for Forrest on this eco, and Cajun decides to end it. So it's all on Michaelele. And he might just manage to... Oh, no! Oh, he runs out of bullets. He picks up an empty AK. Oh, look at the disappointment. He knew he had Cajun as well. 100% dead.
It's better to be lucky than it is to be good. That's all I can say. That's tragic for Michaelele. Really tragic. I do want to... I have to elaborate on this point, because it is the thing that we brought up yesterday. We were pointing out that the problem that Dignitas are having on the CT side here is that they're committing to fights they don't need to, and Config's positional play shows it really well. He keeps setting himself up in a position where he either gets 2 or more, or his team is at a really bad spot. You know, instead of just saying, I'll take a quick fight. If I don't win it, I'll just fall back. I'll give up the map. It's fine. You can give up so much map control on Nuke, and it's fine on the CT side, because eventually they have to get into a bomb site. Use controller yard, so what? If they use a ton of grenades to get that control, that's acceptable. And what's not acceptable is Get Right taking out Config with a scout outside.
I mean, that's just Get Right levels of download. Where the first shot was impressive, don't get me wrong. He hits that shot where Config is jumping. That's not easy to do. But then to just figure out where Config is hiding, dead on, land the second shot, not a missed one, that is some beautiful stuff from Get Right. Well, Maze Boy going to step into the fight, and Michaelele is dancing on the edge of the smoke. He's going to get that bomb planted. So a 2-man advantage now for NiP, and pretty much the round locked.
I mean, it's one thing for Get Right to get that kill outside, but then Rubino gets caught. He wanted to do that door trick where he opens the door so that they face in towards the hallway, and then he could sort of just look over the edge of them. Right. And I mean, just to contrast that kind of play with what Config has been doing, that's much more a sort of, I'll try and take a couple of shots, and if it doesn't work, I'm out of here. You know, I'll just fall back. Again, if the terrorists take yard control, that's fine. As long as they don't have CT hell or heaven, and as long as they are not in the B bomb site, if you can make them use all of these grenades to get that, that's all right. That's perfectly acceptable. But Dignitas, they seem to put everything in on fighting for every position that they're occupying early in the round, and it's backfiring really badly on them.
Did MSL, I guess MSL tried to push Hut there, given Get Right's position.
It must have been something like that. But they only have body armor and pistols, so got to expect that NiP could equalize the score here.
Freiberg will catch Cajun B long distance over in the long range in the yard, rather, because I have a bit of a brain fart there. And Config still on the loose. Not quite going to find it. He does get the tag on Freiberg, but no kill, and he eventually gets hunted down by Forrest. So this is very methodical play coming in here from NiP. It's really just get right, all on his lonesome. That was the one weak point. Dignitas managed to identify that and pick him off. But the rest of NiP moving together as a unit, that's excellent. I mean, excellent play, basically. That's how you handle the anti-eco. So now, well, Maggie's might be able to save the M4 for the next round. That would be nice, considering the state of their economy. Not even going to manage that. He's down to 13 HP.
Yeah, I think probably. Oh, and actually, Exist going to be able to get the kill. I think he wanted to be a hero then. He was hoping to make it a 1v2 and then charge in, get the clutch in. That would have been impressive, but not this time. So that's 5-5. Scores equalized here as NiP show that they are definitely ready to play Nuke as well. T side, we'll see about the CT side later, but they're doing a really good job right now. Punishing Dignitas for some of the, I think some of the same mistakes that we saw yesterday. Yesterday, what we highlighted, it was yard with config, but it was also ramp room, where Dignitas would keep sort of fighting even if they didn't need to.
That's just chaos, and I do like it. Bit of a risky play from Dignitas, but again, if Get Right's there alone, maybe they rush him down, maybe they get a gun to work with, and they sacrifice yard, but whatever, they have a gun to play with at that point. Unfortunately for them, NiP actually set up a defense in lobby this round, and so they get slapped. And Config and Maggie's Boy, the last two alive here for Dignitas, as NiP take over the A site. So a free plant here for the Swedes.
Bit of a failed Molotov up at Heaven, that's interesting, but not sure it's going to make a big difference. Very hard for them to make it out without any of the armor here. Freiberg, Chaos Spray coming out. Config getting a kill, but it will be Michael to clean it up. Good economic damage put into NiP. They're going to have to rebuy a lot of rifles here. Now, finally, Dignitas could buy after that double eco, which, I mean, that is the phrase you don't want to hear if you're on the CT side on Nuke.
Yeah.
Not a good time at all.
It's basically worst case scenario. Giving up 2 rounds for free, considering how difficult, in general, and how difficult the rounds are to get on T side of Nuke. Feels like Nuke has also been a weird flip of a map where we've been seeing some T-sided win, like T-sided halves. So the team's still figuring it out. But Forrest now setting up here for a potential A execute, which could be interesting. We haven't really seen NiP go for a full-on, all-out grenade execute onto the upper site just yet.
Yeah, speaking of which, seems like that is kind of what they're setting up for here. Flashes, grenades are in, the Molotovs raining onto the hut as well, but MSL and Rubino picking up 2 big kills. Exist going to be going down. MSL a rock on this bomb site with a double kill, and Forrest and the Michael are going to be going down. Cajun coming up out of the vent, and that's a clean round. NiP, they looked like they had that really well prepared.
Is it just me, or did it look like Get Right messed up his smoke? Because I get the feeling that was supposed to bank through the window of hut out into main. Because, I mean, what's the purpose of smoking off hut for Dignitas and trying to run through the smoke onto the site? Or was it supposed to go out through the entrance to give him more room to maneuver with coming out of the smoke?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to go out through the door.
Yeah, something wasn't quite right there. That felt just a little off.
We'll check the demo. We'll get confirmation somehow. Meg is being boosted up in ramp. That is a nice way. If you're going to have someone, you know, holding ramp solo, that's not a bad way of doing it. But the one problem is it does commit that player to it. There's no falling back from that position.
Well, Config's about to have a real rough time. Again, look at this. Tiered peak. He gets the shot and manages to back off intact and then sets up at the next angle. This is how you do it, Config. Falls back to a further angle, and so if NiP chooses to commit, fine. If not, he's going to find the pick on him, and he does. Through the edge of the walls, Freiberg survives somehow with 5 HP. Way too close. Config able to back off once again, but in the meantime, Michael has won a duel versus Cajun B, and so it is a 4-on-4.
I mean, that's much more acceptable for Config to try and play the angles like that. I feel like I'm criticizing him a lot, and he's top ranking on the team, so he's obviously doing a very good job. I just think it's so risky. Exist is going to be getting the kill on Magus. Rubino there to pick it up, and that's very important now. Down in the hallway here. Config still having that fight with Freiberg after all this time. Freiberg going to go for the re-peek, and he actually peeks really wide, and that's going to just catch Config a little bit off guard. In for a 2-on-2 here, but a huge health advantage for Dignitas, and surely they can win this round.
Yeah, that would be a monstrous loss if they lost this one here. Exist is going to be able to recover the bomb. Freiberg already lies in wait for MSL when he tries to rotate down to vents. I think Freiberg goes, there it is, and that is the most awkward situation we've ever seen.
Well, MSL cleaning it up, and that is going to be 7-6 here, moving into the 14th round. Just to point out, the way that Freiburg peaks config there is that's some really cool Counter-Strike, you know, because you have really two choices. You can either go for the really narrow peak where you're just around the corner and you try and see if you could do it, or you can go for the really wide one. And obviously the problem with the wide one is you're out in the open. So if you don't hit the shot, then you've got no cover anymore. But it does work because Config was holding the corner and he accurately predicted that. So it's something you'll see a lot, but it's worth you know, pointing out every once in a while, just the difference between those type of peaks. And it's a really good job on Freiburg to get that.
It's the brave way to play, basically. It's just like, okay, I'm done with your games. Let's go. And wow, again, Get Right hits that shot, and this time it's a headshot with the scout.
I think Config was jumping as well.
Yeah, he was. And that's the second time the Get Right's done that to him. The last time the Get Right played with the scout, Config did the same jump, and Get Right got the tag there as well. Get Right's on point with that scout right now.
Absolutely ridiculous. Well, again, they get access to Secret and in towards the B bomb side. Magus, they're planning right in front of him. I'm sure he could hear it because of all the gunfire, but oh, he turns around and they line up for him. And that's a quick triple for Magus. You'd think the fact that he couldn't hear the bomb going down, that would have been the detrimental part of that round, but obviously not. Get Right outside, can't do a thing, so the defuse is going to happen here. Flashbang in, and he does get a kill on Cajun. Dignitas will win the round. Going into the 15th one, still a pretty good job for NiP to get the bomb plant down, secures them enough money to go for a little bit here, and Get Right saving it means he could drop an AK for a friend, but 8-6. I still think this is a great half for NiP, but maybe Dignitas could bring it back a little bit at the end here.
Yeah, it's just what I'm worried about is the difficulty that we saw from Dignitas on their T-side cobble. Is that going to carry over to the T-side on Nuke? I mean, they're going to have still quite a bit of work ahead of them here. If they even finish 9-6, they ideally want a minimum of 10-5 if they're on the CT side right now in the first half. So it's going to be tricky for Dignitas. They've got a long way ahead of them, and NiP right now should be feeling pretty good so far with how this half has played out. Still a decent buy as well due to Get Right saving that M4. You're right, drops the AK for Forrest, 2 Galils and a Tech 9, decent nade count as well. And this time Config, he's done playing passively. He's done waiting over by Garage to take a bullet to the face from Get Right. Decided to actually go aggressive and try and take the fight to NiP.
Rubino in the back line, forced out with a Molotov, still a great headshot. That's not so easy. MSL waiting in hot. Mike Hilele taking out Config, and oh, MSL, he really wants to bring it back for his team, but if he overcommits to this kind of a peak, then the round is probably going to be lost here. 4 versus 3, great setup for NiP.
And that was, yeah, that was very nicely done by Exist, sacking himself there. He was the one with the Tech 9. His teammates trade appropriately. Cajun and Magus go. They're going to find the 2 kills, and there's a third one for MSL. That pretty much snuffs it here. Freiburg now in a 1v3. 42 seconds left with a Galil. If he can find an AK or an M4 from one of his dead teammates, that would be ideal. That'd be better. But he doesn't really have a whole lot of time to play with here. 30 seconds, and there's a crossfire established on the A site, ready and waiting for him.
Yeah, don't really see this working out. In fact, he's going to get caught throwing that grenade. 9-6 in the first half. Dignitas managing to bring it back at the end. I mean, credit to them. Definitely very impressive. Managed to stabilize even just a little bit, and I think also managed to play a little bit smarter in the defense. Like more instances of them falling back from the original fights and just using all those angles. If you think about it, think about the incredible range. If someone is going to chase you down secret, then you can take the first fight at them on the stairwell. Then there's one corner as they come up the stairwell on their side, and you could keep falling back just corner after corner after corner where they have to. Either they have to get a really great peek in, or they have to use grenades to force you back, and then they've used all their grenades by the time they're in the bomb site. That's what you want, you know. If they try and plant the bomb in that B bomb site without a smoke of their own, because they've already used all of them getting in there, then that's a huge win.
Yeah, it's a dead man's game.
Yeah, and if they don't have any for the after plant, then, you know, you're also in a good position. I just think Dignitas need to rewatch some of these demos, that's all I'm saying.
And if not them, analyst, coach, somebody's going to have to spot it and start pointing these difficulties out for them, these mistakes. But still, I mean, Dignitas right now primed and ready to go charging onto the A site in this second half. Pistol 9-6. They're in the lead on the T side, and if they can pick up this pistol, that would be a huge start for them in the half. But MSL, he's the one with the utility. Smoke and flash. The smoke has been used. There's the flash. His teammates waiting for it, and Freiburg there to just, well, welcome him with open arms. 2 headshots for Freiburg, and Get Right's going to pick up one of his own. Freiburg reigns supreme. Quad kill for him, and that is a dominant pistol round for NiP. Total and utter destruction.
It's very well played. Headshots are great, but also just they can't really do anything about that in the corner because they have no Molotov to force him out with. So they keep having to peek to look his way, and they can't really do anything about it. 4 Deagles being picked up, Meg is coming to be the one to not buy one. I don't know why that's always the case. Why can't we just have 5 Deagles?
Yeah, Simple did that to us yesterday with Navi, right?
Yeah.
Rest of his team go Deegs. He goes Tech 9. Like, okay, then. Oh, Michael Lily's kicking himself. He had a chance, and he will completely fluff it.
Giving up an auto shotgun. Forest, a little bit of a fight here. Get Right has taken out 2 members, though. And I think a team flash coming into it is a bit weird. Cajun with a chance to do something there, but not really capitalizing on it. They have lost a bomb, but again, they just need to do a lot of damage to NiP here. And, well, Rubino gonna shock Exist sneaking up behind him there. That's gonna be the end of the round. Still, 2 people killed. Could have been more, I think.
And the essential weapons saved as well. 3 rifles that NiP are going to be able to carry over into this next round.
They did lose the auto shotgun. I mean, that hurts.
Yeah, that... Oh, actually, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, Michael Lily, it's like shotgun. I've watched too many Hollywood movies. Aren't things supposed to die in like a 30-foot wide cone in front of shotguns when you shoot them? Shouldn't it be just instant?
He's kind of a showman, isn't he? You know, it's not quite simple levels of insanity, but you know, you can pull out some crazy stuff every once in a while, I feel like.
Oh, that's the bomb. Goodbye, bomb.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if Dignitas care at this point, but they are about to be equalized, and that they should care about. They're on the much harder side of the map here, and it's about to be 9-9 for the scoreline. Megis, can he get the headshot? He can. Michael Lele going to be taken out, and we are tied here at the second map. And NiP took the first one 16-14. It was 16-12?
16-12, yeah.
Right, yeah. So very, very scary stuff, obviously. Dignitas have a lot to fight for right now.
Well, yeah, this is just how it pans out of old. NiP with an excellent scoreline in the first half. They win the pistol. Tied up 9-9 now. And, well, Dignitas, what are they investing? Okay, so it's just a full buy for them. Yeah, after the rounds of eco, they have everything they need. So they have the incendiaries, they have the Molotovs, the AKs. What is going on? Just a couple nades chucked into ramp, I guess, to keep Michael warm. And then everybody rotating out to yard. So let's go. It's going to be that B push, it looks like.
Get right. Legendary, in my opinion, for playing this this A yard. I kind of wish we could spend a whole round just looking at him.
It is pretty fun to see that they still all play the same positions that they did on the old version of Nuke.
Yeah.
It's actually like Michael Lele just slots into Fiflaren's old spot.
Yeah.
And then everybody else is like, right, I know what I'm doing.
And that actually used to be a real problem for NiP, is the fact that nobody wanted to play ramp. Only Fiflaren was the one to say, I'll do it if nobody else wants to, which is, I think, his general attitude towards the game and the team, and one of the reasons why he was a very valuable member of that team. But it's good to see Michael Lele taking that over, because I'm pretty sure nobody else in NiP actually wants to play ramp. Now, Forest, that's just way too many targets. Great job on him for getting the headshot. That could have been even worse than it was. Now they're going to use all these grenades, because they haven't really been forced to use too many of them. Great one right onto 2 members of NiP, and Dignitas setting up a great execute right now, but they still need that bomb plant. And Get Right, in spite of all the damage, managing to pick up that kill. Going to be returned twice here. Rubino and Cajun picking up 1 each. We're in a 2-1-2.
Ah, and the timing, that's the way it works out sometimes. Miggy's boy going to get the drop on Exist. And now it's Get Right all by his lonesome. 36 HP and taking a duel with Magisk, and he just can't seem to find a shot. Miggy's boy still in this fight, and 2 players surviving. Cajun with the safe plant, because that's all he needs to do. And Get Right now realizes he needs to change up. Either he comes at it from a completely different angle, or he runs off to save his M4. And with 10 HP, probably the latter.
Yeah, I would think so. Magisk even had an HE, so it could have been over even quicker than this. And I mean, when you're this far ahead, NiP, even though it's about to be 10-9, I would still say NiP are quite far ahead. Why try and risk it too badly, you know? Why not just save what you got and use it for the upcoming rounds?
I still love Get Right, though. I mean, look at that. She's like, if you're in vents, I'll just go ahead and take a peek. If I kill you, I still might have enough time to catch your teammate and win the round. Otherwise, I'll just go and save my gun. So smart.
And he takes 1 point of damage from the bomb. Good stuff.
Yeah, that's why Get Right. He's one of the very best players, one of the greats. So, well, we have to see this. This is a key round picked up for Dignitas. That puts them into double digits. Now they are in the lead 10-9. More importantly, NiP, they aren't going to get that excellent start where they're going to be able to develop the economy, always have the nades. Look at this buy coming in from NiP now. This is an all-or-nothing sort of scenario. And now 4 rifles, a shotgun, but the limited nade count. It's going to make life a little bit more difficult here for the Swedes to hold on. Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, I imagine that's not the easiest grenade to throw, because there's a good chance you'll catch some of the pipe if you do it really correctly. Michael back there, that's a max 7 long range. Meg is not going to be excited. We've seen some clips of Meg is, you know, smashing his desk and everything else. And, you know, he gets really into the game, which I kind of love, but not the best start there. Forrest and Get Right also picking up a couple of kills, and Freiburg chiming in, and nobody going down for NiP. In fact, it's a team ace. Every single member getting a kill each, and that's going to tie the score in reverse now, 10-10. And Dignitas has no money to buy anything with.
No, disaster for Dignitas. They get hard reset, and so no bomb plant either means that they're very limited on their options. Unless they can get a bomb plant here in this round, they'll still be kind of struggling economically going into the next round for a full nade count. But this is where it gets interesting. You have to wonder, straight ramp rush with the bomb or through the vents, but NiP, they have the anti-rush nades to stop that from happening. So now it's Dignitas. I mean, sure, they take over yard, but they're going to try and split onto A, it looks like.
So, trying to see if he can make it in through main. He kind of did, but the timing was a little bit off, and Freiburg just having a field day at the moment, getting some good kills, a triple overall, and another flawless round. And this is so dangerous for Dignitas. I mean, the money that's starting to build on NiP, I mean, Dignitas have to win consecutive rounds. Even though they can only buy 3 AKs and Tech 9 armor here, I would do that. I mean, they're not doing that, I can tell, but I would, because they're potentially giving NiP another, if not flawless, then near flawless round here. And that's too much. That is just too much money, I think, for the Swedes. Yeah,
that's where they can, well, yeah. Oh, Get Right still using the old tried and true nade, one of his favorites. Used to be able to just skip behind that smoke to get behind Big Red over there, behind the red container, and pressure the T side. Instead, he's going to use it to dart around over here to Garage, but Config long range with the Deagle sprays him down.
Not too bad. A good opening. Again, damage is really the name of the game here, Dignitas. They need 2 more kills in this round, basically, before it is acceptable. Exist well aware that someone could be coming in here. Bit of a pop flash here, but actually doesn't quite catch him. It does catch MSL, though. But Config picking up Michael. This is huge for Dignitas right now. 5 versus 3.
How are they managing to sneak in here? Config is just a monster. Forrest and ramp, but then Rubino still on high is going to allow Exist to face plant down on the A side. Config now has Forrest AK, or rather he kills Forrest with it. And Freiburg trying to do the best that he can, eventually hunts down Rubino, but it's a 1v4. I don't even.
No, I mean, a big misstep for NiP, honestly. They should not be losing around like this. No idea how Get Right didn't get the kill on Config early on. I mean, just a good job by Config overall, but NiP definitely also missing some key shots that they should not be. Shooting at your teammates, Config, please.
Yeah, that's a little frustrating. Still, that's practically a hard eco win for Dignitas.
Yeah.
You know, speaking of, oh man, you know, this is what a risk. This will allow NiP to generate more money, build their economy. Actually, this is about as good as it gets. Like that low percentage bet that you take when you say, okay, I'm gonna like just risk, I'm going to allow them to have like a small advantage and take the risk to get a huge advantage, which is basically you win a hard eco. Your money is fantastic. NiP's bank evaporates, and this actually kind of gives you a lifeline here in the half.
I still completely disagree with the fact that they went for that route, but now that it worked, it looks great. So I guess I'll have to just be quiet with the criticism. But I'm not a fan of it. 11-11 is the scoreline, and Cajun just stomping out into the yard, not worried about anyone playing close. He's got the AWP, and oh, he tried to track that shot. You could see it almost happening. Not at all a bad idea. And Get Right still lurking around outside, getting caught, and now he's gone. MSL, perfect timing there.
This is where you really start to wonder. Get Right getting caught 2 rounds running. And now this definitely gives a lot of room to work with here for Dignitas, as they can take their time to set up the peak here towards locker room, towards heaven. And more importantly, this gives them access to secret to start pressuring that B site. So Freiburg is on upper. He should be on upper at least. Michael Lily holding in ramp. Who is actually holding towards B right now? Is that Forrest? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of got to be.
No, he's still upper. He's probably still in hell. He's in hell right now. He's going up towards heaven. So it is on Michael as the first point of contact here for the B site. Freiburg is close to vent, so you can try and rotate down, but this is nasty.
This is going to be very tough indeed. So many angles for Michael, as you could tell. He does pick up 1 kill, not at all bad. It's tagged a little bit, goes for more. About the best that maybe he could have done. Freiburg is down as well, and Forrest and Exist left 2 on 4 here. Forrest getting 1 kill, 4 bullets left. Hadn't actually reloaded yet, and now they're going to grenade him out of there. 1 on 3, and he does go down. A Cajun B picking up a triple, and Dignitas taking the lead here in NiP's economy. I mean, there's a big bank on Freiburg, but I don't know if they can risk it. I mean, it's just too much.
Yeah, don't risk it. You still have the advantage. You're still CT side. Even if they tie it up 12-12, you're still in the lead. So, NiP, oh, what is this, Freiburg? This is him just evening out the economy and saying, I'm going to get the hero op. I still have 3,000 in the bank, so even after the round of eco, I'll be able to buy in the next round. But I mean, okay then.
Well, he's holding out in the garage here. He's got Cajun on the other side. It would be a devastating blow. It'd probably win NiP the map if this one AWP could really work out. He's got the scope in the right place here. Cajun, is he going to go for the peak? Freiburg is so ready for it. Not going to happen. Man, that is...
Let me wipe the sweat off my brow.
Yeah, just... You didn't even want to blink or breathe at that point in time, just waiting for it. We'll see. The smokes here are going to it's going to make Freiburg's life a lot more difficult. Let's put it like that.
Yeah, I mean, impact now for him practically reduced for nil unless he tries to go for some crazy hero play. And instead, Dignitas elect to go for that A site. Squeak door is going to be open. Config takes out Get Right. That's pretty much par for the course at this point. And now Rubino, he's not sure where he's getting shot from. There's a man on top of Hut. Eventually, they'll find him, but then Freiburg finally able to bring that op to bear, looking for the second shot, and he'll hit it. Config is down. But it's a 1v3, and they have control of the A site. Woo!
Yeah, you can shoot through that. I think, tragically, he's shooting far enough down that it's going to hit the catwalk on the inside. But if he jumps, well, that is an interesting idea.
Doritos, Mountain Dew, like.
If he jumps to shoot through the window, that's an even better shot. I think the main problem in that round that we just saw was the fact that Exist had loaded his P250 with blanks. Just obviously wasn't hitting anything at all. I think he emptied like 2 clips into somebody and just still couldn't pick up anybody. 13-11, and the 25th round is coming up. If even one person tweets me that it's a magazine and not a clip, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna absolutely freak out. Start blocking people on Twitter.
Oh, Forrest is certainly not pleased about missing that shot. Again, a missed opportunity. And I mean, this is just methodical now coming in here from Dignitas. Clearly one of their main game plans is to get control of Yard, force NiP to fall back towards the bomb site so that Dignitas have the freedom to set up the push how they like. There's the smoke, but Forrest, it's an imperfect one. He can still spot towards Secret. And there it is. MSL just walks right into his waiting crosshairs.
It's a very tight game right now. Dignitas proving themselves much more adept at playing the T side here than they were on the CT side, I must say. Forrest, dangerous position out in Yard.
Do it. Be greedy. Cajun would never know. Cajun, stop. Stop! Okay, he got it in the end.
And that's a big kill here. 3 versus 5, sneaking through the smoke on the other side here. Forrest waiting. Config going to be walking right in, and Forrest sees it coming. And that's a triple kill. Rubino and Megas left, and they're not going to get anything done. Flawless round for NiP. And these flawless rounds are just so important. I mean, late in the game, we've had 3 of them now for NiP in this one half. All that money is going to start to stack up over time, and it could give them the one buy they need at the end to close out the game.
The more important thing now is that NiP, I mean, they have the experience. They have been in that situation where they were the juggernaut. They know how to close maps. They know how to close tournaments, but this would be a magnificent win for them. If they could go 2-0 right now versus Dignitas after splitting 1-1 yesterday, that would put them in the lead in their group. And that would definitely be solid going forward, given how first seed from the groups goes straight to the semifinals. So a very important map and a very important series of rounds about to come up here, as Dignitas still had the money to go for the bye. But so did NiP, and NiP right now, they're just like, they're playing so passively.
Yeah, they're setting up some really good positions here. It's hard for Dignitas to find that one opening frag that they would love. Get Right is coming up the secret stairs, and Cajun is out here, so now he's got to be a little bit careful. Running in, Freiburg actually caught with a grenade in hand, but he's still going to stay alive. Dignitas trying to move in. They're going to get both the kills on the A site, and that's a magnificent opening. Grenades now raining up to CT Heaven. It's going to be almost impossible to stay up there. Get Right gets the kill on Config, but the bomb is down, and they're a man down, and NiP, they have to think about the economy as well. They can't just throw 3 rifles away and then hope for the best.
No, you're right. This is the kind of scenario now where if you can hold on to the 3 guns, then you have a pretty healthy buy going into the next round. Like a pretty decent one where the 2 guys who get dropped can have full nades, kit, caboodle, right? So, difficult. Mizzy's boy is going to hunt down Forrest, though. It's not really looking too hot here for NiP. They're down to 2 remaining players. Michael out in the yard, gets spotted, sprayed down to 15 HP. Mizzy's boy not going to get it. Instead, it's Rubino with the flank. And well, that just leaves Get Right all by his lonesome.
It's the worst thing in the world when you make the decision to save the guns and then you get hunted anyway. So now you didn't get a chance to win the round and you're also not saving any of the guns. That's definitely an issue. Freiburg on top with 22 kills, 20 on Config on the Dignitas side. They're bringing this game back in. 14-12 is what we're looking at. NiP with a big buy here, but if they lose this round, they won't have anything to defend with, and they could end up getting closed out just because of the lack of money here. It's a really big issue for them. See what they could do.
Oh, exactly. This is getting far too close for comfort. And Dignitas, they're going right back out to yard control again. So they went for a lobby play in the last round, worked. Now they go back to yard. That's going to set it up for the secret push again. There are the smokes that allow them to get down here. Might be a gap that can be abused from main. Might be. Yep. Get Right. Going to spot him himself. That drops a bomb in the open. That's a real problem now for Dignitas. They're going to have to worry about picking that bomb up. They have to go back and get it. Config, he sees it.
Just waiting for a little bit here. Freiburg at another off angle down here. Cajun on the other side. He really wants to go for this peek. He's not going to think Freiburg is here. He's seen the grenade coming in from the other side, so it's unlikely there would be a second player there. And indeed, if Freiburg had stuck around, you could see Cajun would have walked out without even being scoped, so that would have been a little bit worrisome. Freiburg raiding, going to peek up just at the perfect time, takes the kill. Config with a good reply. 3 on 4 though, and out in the yard. Get Right, trying to hold that bomb. Not going to happen. Magus will take him out, and it's a 3 on 3.
This is just tit for tat as Rubino is getting roasted somewhere, and he is going to get caught. No, Exist dies. Rubino survives on 6 HP. And Magus boy in the meantime clearing out the upper site. That bomb needs to make its way up here somehow.
Oh, he wants to get up onto the high ground. Rubino picking up another kill and a triple here. Rubino on 6 health. Hero of the round, and NiP. They might very well lose this map. It's 15-12. They would need 3 in a row to get it into overtime, and they only have pistols. It's 5.7s. It's a Deagle and 2 CSET 75s and a lot of grenades. That's what they can fight with. Dignitas, a lot of strength being summoned at the end of the second half here. I thought they were done for. It was 9-6 in the first half, and then NiP won the pistol round, so then it got brought back to 9-9.
Yeah.
Should have given, you think, NiP a really good chance of winning the game.
Yeah, no, and I take it back. I was definitely expressing some skepticism when it came to Dignitas' T sides recently on the maps that we've seen so far. Here on Nuke, they've delivered. And Rubino certainly came through huge in a round that mattered the most for his team there. So talk about big plays for him when he definitely had a slow start to the map. But 15-12. And now this leaves Dignitas. They should be, obviously, leaving them in a feeling of total confidence that they have this locked down. I mean, all pistols for NiP, as you said. It's a hard buy with basically anything they can cobble together here. And so now it's going to be, once again, Dignitas going out into the yard. They want to take advantage of long-range fights if they can manage it. No smokes going down to block that off because they have the AKs. Instead, it's going to be the smoke going down. That's Get Right putting that down in main to try and block off that A site. But then that just gives Dignitas free reign. They can push secret, and they can get over to heaven and hell.
So got 40 seconds here, but Dignitas have already wasted a fair bit of time walking around here, so they got to be a bit careful. Freiburg, obviously the king of banana with the banana skin. Forrest going to take the fight here, C said, and take down Rubino. Steals the AK. That is a good way to get started, but they snuck up behind him, and now He's out of the round. Mike Lily in a very uncomfortable position. Freiburg does sort of cause a bit of a distraction, but he still only has a pistol, and that's the big problem. Cajun taking the fight with the Tech 9. He's going to be going down, and now it's a 3-on-3. That bomb plant, it has to happen soon. It's 10 seconds left. It will be going down. Even Mike Lily was right there. He couldn't stop it from happening. See if they can make it out here, Dignitas.
Oh, I love it. Mike Lily, they have no idea that he's there. And he gave the info to his teammates that Magus Boy got into the toxic room, so this is where it gets interesting for NiP. They're low on HP, but Michael is going to get the drop on MSL, and there's the element of surprise. Now he's got an AK to play with, but they lose a teammate in the meantime, and Config comes alive. 2 kills for him, but he gets snuffed by Exist, and now it's the 1v1, and Maze Boy one-taps it. Done. Dignitas come to fight back, winning 1 map here in this best of 2. NiP and Dignitas, they split it. And well, I mean, there you go. The hopes for NiP to get a clean first seed evaporate. It's going to get